Marilyn Monroe is an icon of beauty, magnetism, and mystery. But before the world was obsessed with her, she was just Norma Jean, a shy girl from an orphanage, unnoticed and ordinary. So, how did she transform into the most desired woman in the world? It wasn't luck or looks. Marilyn mastered the art of identity shifting, rewiring her old story and controlling energy like no one else. But what exactly did she do to make the world see her differently? Let's find out. If you think that living the life of luxury, being everyone's dream girl, having people literally obsessing over you, receiving celebrity treatment everywhere you go, is only accessible for women like Marilyn Monroe and celebrities, and this is quite frankly not accessible to you, I will prove you wrong by the very end of today's video. And not only that, but also I will give you a complete blueprint of everything that you need to do in order to become your own personal celebrity, receiving and getting everything that you want, gaining massive success, massive fame if this is what you want, and quite literally creating a whole heaven for yourself. Because everything that Marilyn Monroe did is not the coincidence, it's not luck, it's not some fate that is not written for you, but this is the result of a very powerful practice called identity shifting. Identity shifting is literally a creation of an alter ego for yourself that embodies all the characteristics necessary for living your dream life. This is like you, but you on the massive steroids, if you know what I mean. And creating the identity is quite popular actually among different celebrities. Marilyn Monroe was just Norma Jean, you know, Eminem and Slim Shady. If we would like to dig deeper into the alter egos, we will find really a lot of different alter egos among celebrities. And this is not coincidence again. Alter egos give us a very deep rooted inside power that is not accessible for us when we are being our ordinary internal selves. And Marilyn Monroe is the best teacher for creating the new identity, to shifting into the best powerful version of herself. And this is quite literally that we'll be discussing today. So get yourself comfortable and let's dive deep into it. Marilyn Monroe was just Norma Jean. She was working an ordinary job. She didn't have rich parents to put her into fame and give her the winning lottery ticket in life. She didn't even have the fraction of what you may have right now watching this video, but she recreated herself fully and she became the most desired and famous woman in whole history, over whom we are still obsessing over today. So what exactly did she do? Once Marilyn got a slightest chance of getting the success, she understood that she needs a bigger, deeper power than she has right now. And she decided to fully rebrand herself, fully recreate her image, and become Marilyn Monroe. The first thing that she did and that you should do is to become very clear with the new identity that you want to embody. First of all, what kind of life you want to have. Marilyn wanted to be a superstar. She was even saying, it must be so like hard knowing that there are a lot of girls sitting and dreaming about movie stars, becoming a movie star, but I'm not worrying about them because I am dreaming the hardest. She accepted this role for herself. She wanted to be famous, she wanted to be a superstar. She was often saying that she was dreaming a lot about different beautiful covers that gave her power. She was dreaming about like walking around the streets and turning people's heads. She was dreaming about being this, in modern language, it girl who got literally everything that she wanted and everyone who she wanted. So she quite literally became very clear with the idea of who Marilyn Monroe is, Who is this new identity that she wanted to be? And starting from this moment, she started doing very concrete steps that helped her to embody this version. And a lot of people think that identity shifting is just simply like you are being a little delusional, you're being like a little wannabe, and you just get everything that you want. Yes and no. Like the question is, do you want to be a superstar at this? Or do you want to get just a little success? A little success can be just through imagining yourself, but this will already be a massive success for others. But to become a superstar, to fully embody this, you need to do some concrete steps. And here's exactly what Marilyn Monroe did. So first of all, she practiced acting. She practiced embodying different emotions that was necessary for her career. She was spending hours and hours in front of the mirror, literally practicing different emotions and different types of her famous gaze that would make her even more desirable, that would make people's hearts literally melt. And this is one of the things that is very good to do. It's also called mirror work, and this is something that you can start doing as well. Once you become very clear with who you want to be, how does this person like feels like, how this new alter ego feels like, you may sit in front of the mirror and play with this image. I wanted to say play with yourself, but it would be a very different meaning. Play with this new character. Like, how would they look at people? How would they look at themselves? What kind of like gaze would they have? What kind of the confidence they would project? And acting is literally something that every one of us need to a little bit like get into and understand, because this also helps a lot with being in the wish fulfilled, with being the like embodying this new version of you. Because literally what you do when you shift identity, when you literally turn yourself from the version of you now into the version of you successful, is that you start playing the role. And to play this role really well, you need to become this role. And a lot of actors, once they start like getting into the role, they start being this person. So this is what Marilyn did. She started being this person. So the next thing that I want you to do is to take down the sheet of paper or your notebook or your notes app, whatever, and just write down everything. Write down the script for this new identity, for this new character. How would people react to you? How would you feel on the streets? How would you feel at work? What exactly would people be saying to you? How would you feel about yourself? How would you feel about your work? Come up with literally like the most extensive understanding of who you are going to be. And starting from that, here's another thing that Marilyn was doing. Not only she was practicing the like internal shift or just gazing into the mirror, but she was also studying all the related subjects to better understand how she can be even better at her role. Think about how she was studying different other famous women to basically like develop even better understanding of how to be the seductive woman, how to move properly. She created different new movements. She was doing something that no one did before. Think about when she was cutting a little bit of her heel to create even like deeper swing of her thighs to make it even more seductive. She started moving slowly. She started being more, you know, like her moves were like fluid. She was very soft with them to create the certain impression on people. And this is why, again, I'm telling you to become really good at understanding what exactly you want to have, what exactly this new identity has. Because starting from that, you not only just like start imagining yourself being this person, but you start being this person, and you are adding new like movements, new characteristics to this identity. You start walking differently, you start talking differently. You may want to start practicing speaking in a different way. You may want to start playing with your voice. The key point, and the thing that Marilyn teaches us the most, is that this new identity that you create, this new person that you start embodying, can literally change your whole entire life. And yes, you need to be a little bit of actor for that. And yes, she put really a lot of work. She wasn't just dreaming, she was improving this identity over and over and over again. And this is the key to the identity shifting practice. Not only you just like simply imagine yourself being a new person, but you quite literally become a new person. You start adding new characteristics, and then your life has no other option but to literally become true. And when Marilyn was working on these things, like, even start thinking about it. If you think that this is like just luck or whatever, can you imagine yourself a woman right now that would quite literally behave like Marilyn Monroe, put just same amount of efforts in her appearance, in her internal shift, in her emotional state as Marilyn Monroe, that she would be walking somewhere the streets of Paris or of Vienna, of like, I don't know, any huge city, and she would be unnoticed? Can you imagine this kind of outcome for yourself? I quite literally don't. So when you think that this is just for the chosen ones, it's not. This requires a lot of work. Get very clear with who you want to be. Write it all down. Write the perfect script for yourself. The whole scenario, the whole movie character. What does this person do? How do they behave? Create this new badass version for yourself. How do they behave? Start embodying it and adding new features on top. If you do it even for like 10 days, your life will drastically shift. The opportunities that you will notice, the opportunities that you will attract, the type of people that you will be put in touch with, it will be unimaginable. And just think about what's going to happen if you will do identity shifting for a year. I quite literally cannot imagine. This would be massive. I hope that you really loved the idea of today's video. I think that there's a lot that we can learn from celebrities. If you want to see how other celebrities manifested their life, manifested their fate, I'll be happy to make more videos about that. I think that we have really a lot to learn from the actors, from people who quite literally do identity shifting on a day-to-day basis. And let me know in comments, what do you think about this? It's been a pleasure to talk to you today. Have a nice week ahead, and I'll see you in my next videos.